Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home.
Welcome everybody to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive. And I want to tell you about my Spanish adventure, the past one and the current one. So before I get into that, I want to say welcome if you're at the Heal Your Hunger Show for the first time. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm honored that you're taking your 20 minutes to hang out with me. I know your time is valuable and you could be in all kinds of podcasts. So thanks for that. I'm truly honored. I hope I'll make it worth your while. You know, at the Heal Your Hunger Show, we go beyond the conversation of food and weight to really dig into our souls, our psyches, what's driving us to eat and be out of control with food. Because I was out of control with food. I was 50 pounds overweight and hopelessly addicted to food. But my healing didn't come from a diet. It came from the inner journey. It came from sorting out my emotions, changing how I lived my life, which is part of what I'm going to talk about today. So if that's interesting to you, you're so in the right place. Stick around. I also get pretty personal about my own experience. I get honest and real about my own life. And to me, that's my school. My school of life is what's happening for me right here, right now, because I'm still an emotional eater. I don't emotionally eat typically, but fundamentally, I have the personality traits of an emotional eater. And I'm in the process of healing. I don't consider myself cured. So you're going to get the down and dirty version of my healing journey so you can glean from it whatever is useful to you on your healing journey. So hope that's helpful. So I also want to just say that if you haven't yet taken the emotional eating quiz to find out if you're even an emotional eater at all, like you're like, what is she talking about? Go to healyourhunger.com and take the quiz. It's like a 3-minute quiz that'll tell you if you're an emotional eater or a food addict or somewhere in between. So important to do that because you're going to get a personalized score. So take that quiz, get started that way. It's a quick quiz, but it will help you identify where you are on that emotional eating spectrum. I will also explain that spectrum after you take the quiz. So check that out at healyourhunger.com. And also join us in the Secret Sauce group in Facebook. The Secret Sauce to End Emotional Eating is where you want to go to connect with other emotional eaters and be the first to know when cool stuff is happening with Heal Your Hunger. Lastly, check me out on Instagram. It's Tricia Nelson _. I have really fun videos and just inspiring content that will help you on your journey. Hey, we cannot do this alone. We must have support. We must have inspiration. We must know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. I give you that in my Instagram feed, Tricia Nelson _. Okay, on with the show. I am headed on an adventure to Spain. I'm so excited. I leave in a couple days, going to Barcelona. It's a big deal. So I think what I'm going to do is document this trip in a few episodes. So this is sort of like the setup for that trip. It's an important setup because I'm going to tell you that this is coming on the 40th anniversary, the 40-year anniversary of my being in Spain previously, literally 40 years ago. And what happened was I was in high school and I had a friend in high school who's from Spain. I went to a boarding school and she's from Spain and New York, and her mom is from like Spanish royalty, and her mother set up this program whereby some of us, my classmates and I, went to Spain, and we had a job in this little town in the south of Spain called Sanlúcar de Barrameda. And so I lived in Sanlúcar, and it was a beach town. It was a party city. I lived with a family, a single woman with 2 daughters, a divorced woman with 2 daughters, and they were lovely. And I spent a month there. But in exchange for the family hosting me, it was set up where the government would give them a stipend on account of my doing work, my contributing to the economy in that town. And I got to choose out of an assortment of different jobs. And the job I chose was to be a car mechanic. So I worked at Taller Moreno. It was a little Ford dealership, which was really just a garage where they sold Fords. It's a small little town. And they were it. They were it for Fords. And I worked in this little garage. I wore blue overalls, a monkey suit, as my mother and my grandmother used to call it, because my dad worked in a garage when he was going to business school on the side to make money while my mom was dating him. Anyway, I worked at this garage, and it was quite an experience. And I can't say it was all good. I mean, overall it was good, but I wasn't at my best. I was an emotional eater, and I was also somebody, I'm an addicted personality type. So if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. Well, I drank a lot during that trip. So every night, and they all drank a lot. I was in good company. So every night, after work and after my siesta, I would go out like at 9 o'clock at night. They start late in Spain. If you've been there or from there, they start late. So I'd go out around like 9 o'clock. I'd get home around 1 a.m. I'd get up hungover and go to my job of, changing oil, fixing tires, pulling spark plugs, all in Spanish, mind you. So this is just what I did. It was a crazy time, super fun. I ended up doing my applications for college were about working at Taller Moreno. And anyway, the dark underbelly of that trip is that I was drinking a lot. I was a blackout drinker, so I was super crazy and excessive. And I wasn't the role model that the woman who hosted me was hoping I'd be to her daughters, because I was like a partier. I was a partier, and I was self-centered, and it was all about me and going out. And then I was hungover at work, and oh my goodness, I was 16 years old, and I just didn't behave well. I did not behave well. I tended to be on the promiscuous side as well, irresponsible with my feelings, irresponsible, period. And so, yeah, that's where I come from, friends. I know I don't seem like that person now, and I'm not, by the grace of God, but I was troubled. And I was acting out in ways that drove me to my knees when I was 21 years old. I mean, I'm here today hosting the Heal Your Hunger show because I was like wrecked by age 21. I was 50 pounds overweight. I was essentially alcoholic, couldn't handle my alcohol. I was a blackout drinker at like 13 years old. I was promiscuous. I was irresponsible with my sexuality. I was acting out all over the place, and I hated myself. I was acting out because I hated myself, and I hated myself because I was acting out. So fast forward 40 years, and I get to do a do-over, okay? I have a do-over coming up on my trip, and it didn't really occur to me that this could be a do-over. My intention was to go to Barcelona to learn Spanish because I was such a goof off in school. I took Spanish in school, but none of it stuck because I was, in a sugar coma most of the time in my entire childhood, eating carbs and sugar and being just not clear in my thinking, not to mention my out of control behaviors. So, so I want to learn Spanish. I have a goal of learning Spanish by age 60. I'm 56 right now. My partner and I each have chosen a language to learn by the time we're 60. He's chosen Japanese. We'll see how that goes. Meaning I'm sure he can do it. He's a super smart guy, but he didn't book a trip for Japan to learn Japan. So we'll see what he does to achieve his goal. But I set an intention. I spoke it out loud, and I'm following it up with serious action. I paid for a 2-week immersion program in Barcelona. I booked my ticket about 6 months ago. I've been studying so I can at least place some kind of intermediate level, or it's really just one step off a beginner is really where I am. But yeah, I'm serious. I'm in it to win it. I said I want to learn Spanish. I can't just say it. I have to back those words up with serious action. So here I am. I'm on my Babbel app. I've got flashcards. I'm jumping on a plane in 2 days, and that's what's happening. And the beautiful thing is, after taking all that action, making arrangements, I realized, oh my God, this is a do-over for me. I get to do it differently. I get to be, I'm literally living with a Spanish family again, while I go to school. So I get to be the role model to whoever's there. I don't even know. They haven't told me who I'm living with. But yeah, I get to do it in a more respectable, self-respecting way. And I'm so grateful that life does give us opportunities to make amends for past behavior that we're not proud of, so I thank God for that. Obviously, God and me, my higher self, working in cahoots to bring this about. So I'm really excited. And I think because it's such a big deal for me, I'm going in blind. I don't know, I don't know Spanish for one thing, and I'm going alone. My partner's going to join me in a couple of weeks, and we'll play in Barcelona for a bit before we go and visit his family in the Netherlands. But I'm going to be going on my own, showing up on this adventure. And I'm excited. I'm excited and afraid. The word is terra-sighted. So I'm excited and terrified. I'm terra-sighted. And I think what I'll do is share different observations and experiences in the upcoming few podcasts. So if you're curious, if you want to know what's going on and how it's going, please stay tuned for other podcasts to drop about it. I know there will be amazing things that I get to learn during my time there. But the biggest thing is just taking action. Taking action. When I tell my own clients and people I speak with, I'm like, if you're serious, you say you want to lose weight, you say you want to change your relationship with food and make peace with food, what are you doing? Are you just saying it? Are you just hoping for it? It ain't going to happen if you're just hoping and wishing. You got to follow it up with real action. And usually you got to follow it up with, investing time and possibly money, to get the right support. And so I'm putting my money where my mouth is. And I said I wanted to learn Spanish, so I'm following it up with a real investment of time and money. And it's so funny because when you do that, you get serious. So you're like, oh shit, I booked a ticket. I'm going to this school. I better learn something. So I bought a textbook, and the last 6 weeks I've really been, getting serious about learning Spanish. I have this whole box of flashcards, and I'm doing the lessons and whatnot. And it's so funny when you do spend money, when you do invest, you put money behind your intention, it makes you get serious. I'm not farting around. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to be tested. I'm going to be placed at a level for learning. I better learn something. I want to get the most of it. Why not start learning first so I can progress faster? So I got the basics out of the way. I learned my conjugations of, a whole bunch of verbs and oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Anyway, so I will share more about it in the episodes to come. Please stay tuned. Please send me good wishes. I appreciate that. It's going to be an adventure. I'm excited and I'm grateful that I get to have a do-over. So until the next show, see ya and talk to you soon. If you're ready to get off the dieting roller coaster ride and finally make peace with food and with your body, talk to a Heal Your Hunger mentor about what steps you need to take based on your own history with food and weight. Go to healyourhunger.com and register for an emotional eating breakthrough session and see how fast you can experience real change. It's a complimentary evaluation, but there are limited spots available. So go to healyourhunger.com and register to speak with a mentor today.